There is a specific moment in the 24-hour cycle that acts as a demarcation line between the ordinary and the supernatural. Most people think 12 a.m. is simply the transition from Tuesday to Wednesday, or a signal to go to sleep. But if you look at the architecture of the spiritual realm, midnight is not a time of silence. It is the time of the highest traffic. While the physical world powers down, the spiritual world powers up. If you study the ancient Hebraic understanding of time, or even the strategies of military warfare, the third watch and the fourth watch of the night are the most critical. Why? Because whoever controls the midnight hour controls the agenda of the coming day. Today we aren't just talking about saying a prayer before bed, we are decoding the spiritual mechanics of midnight prayer. We are going to look at what actually shifts in the atmosphere when you decide to wake up while the rest of the world is unconscious. We are going to look at the midnight protocol. Listen closely. There is a spiritual law recorded in the book of Matthew 13:25. It's a terrifyingly simple verse, but it explains almost every struggle you are facing right now. Jesus says, "But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way." Catch that phrase, while men slept. The enemy did not come during the day when the master was watching. He didn't come during the harvest. He came during the time of vulnerability. In the spiritual realm, sleep is often synonymous with unguarded gates. The tare, the weed, the problem, the sickness, the financial block is usually planted in the spiritual atmosphere between 12 a.m. and 3 a.m., waiting to manifest in your physical life at 9 a.m. or next week. When you pray at midnight, you are engaging in preemptive warfare. You are stopping the sowing process. Most believers are reactive. They wake up to a crisis and try to pray it away. But the midnight intercessor is proactive. When you stand up at 12 a.m., you are essentially standing in the field of your destiny and saying, "Nothing gets planted here tonight without my permission." You are canceling the appointment the enemy had with your morning. Let's look at the Old Testament, specifically Judges 16:3. We see Samson, a man of immense physical strength, trapped in the city of Gaza. The Philistines have him surrounded. They are waiting for the morning light to kill him. This is the strategy of the enemy. Wait until the morning to execute the plan. But look at what the scripture says. "And Samson lay till midnight and arose at midnight, and took the doors of the gate of the city, and the two posts, and went away with them, bar and all." He didn't wait for the sun to rise. He got up at midnight and he ripped the gates off the city. In biblical typology, gates represent authority and entry points. Whoever holds the gates decides who enters and who leaves. When you pray at midnight, you are doing what Samson did. You are uprooting the gates of your city, your family, and your business. You are seizing the entry points. While your family is sleeping, you are spiritually barring the door against infirmity. You are opening the gate for provision. The reason midnight prayer feels so heavy, the reason your body fights it so hard, is because your flesh knows that you are about to dismantle a stronghold that has been standing for years. Now, let's move to the New Testament. You know the story, but I want you to see the physics of it. Acts 16:25. Paul and Silas are in a maximum security prison. Their feet are in stocks. Their backs are bleeding. It is the darkest moment of their lives. And at midnight Paul and Silas prayed and sang praises unto God, and the prisoners heard them. Notice the timestamp. At midnight, they didn't complain. They didn't sleep. They generated a sound. And verse 26 says, "And suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken." Here is the brilliance of this moment. The earthquake didn't happen because of tectonic plate movement. It happened because of a spiritual frequency match. Their praise at that specific hour released so much power that the physical realm had to react. When you pray at midnight, you are causing a fault line shift. You might be whispering in your living room, but in the spirit you are shaking foundations. Chains didn't just fall off Paul and Silas. They fell off everyone in the prison. This is the multiplier effect. When you, the father, the mother, the leader pray at midnight, you aren't just liberating yourself. You are liberating everyone connected to you. Your children's chains fall off because you are awake. Your spouse's depression breaks because you are awake. If you think this is just theology, look at history. Look at the explosion of the church in South Korea in the 20th century. In the 1900s, Korea was arguably one of the most difficult places for the gospel. But the Korean church adopted a practice called sunbojeum, and specifically, the dawn prayer or midnight prayer culture. Pastors and believers would climb the prayer mountains at 4 a.m. or stay up past midnight, crying out to God in the freezing cold. They didn't just pray polite prayers, they roared. The result, one of the largest church growth movements in human history. The largest congregation in the world is in Seoul. That didn't happen by better marketing. It happened because they owned the night. While the world slept, they legislated. Look at the Moravians in the 1700s. They started a prayer watch that lasted, listen to me, 100 years non-stop, hour by hour, day and night. The result was the greatest missionary movement the world had ever seen up to that point. History proves that the power to change the world is unlocked when the church refuses to sleep. So here is the reality. The spiritual realm is not democratic. It is autocratic. It is ruled by those who show up. If you are tired of the same cycles, if you are tired of the enemy sowing tares in your finances, your health and your relationships, you need to change your time zone. You need to meet God at the changing of the guard. I am not asking you to do this every night for the rest of your life, but I am challenging you. Try it for 3 nights. Set your alarm for 12 a.m. Read Psalm 119-62. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. Don't ask for things, just rise and give thanks. Assert your authority. Declare that the gates of your life are open to the King of Glory and closed to the enemy. When you win the night, you win the day. The battle is not won at 9 a.m. in the office. It is won at 12 a.m. on your knees. Stop letting the enemy talk to your day before you do. Wake up, take the gate, shift the atmosphere. If this message sparked a fire in you, if you felt that shift in your spirit, do not leave this channel without clicking that subscribe button. We are building a community of people who are awake, aware, and dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Turn on your notifications. We are going deeper next time. I'll see you in the Midnight Watch.